Welcome back to The Inside Job, the entrepreneur's voyage to a soulfully abundant life. I am your host, Jessica Page, and today I have the honor of introducing Sage Taylor Kingsley-Goddard. Welcome to the show, Sage.
Thank you so much, Jessica. Woo, 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 woo. Hey, everybody.
So let me intro Sage for those of you who don't know who she is. She is the Prosperous Goddess. She is a divine alignment and abundance coach, world-renowned clairvoyant and aura reader, intuitive Archangel Michael and divine mother channel, soul work business coach, and expert on women's empowerment, intuition, energy, spirituality, and healing. Like, we so need more than 30 minutes together. Oh my goodness. So let me keep going. She's a shamanic healer, hypnotherapist, master healer, and trainer in Reiki, money Reiki, and intuitive angelic miracle healing. She is also the #1 best-selling author, dynamic speaker, and a passionate transformation catalyst for awakening women. Oh my goodness. So Sage, before we delve in, I would love to hit you with just 3 quick questions. And the first one is, what is your favorite color?
Purple.
It's so interesting. It's my favorite color, and it's so interesting. I always say this when it's someone's favorite color on the show. Yeah. Like, the masses are purple. And so it's interesting how the collective comes together.
Crown chakra, awakening. And it's interesting because my previous favorite color used to be red, which is, of course, the base chakra and the more earthy and grounding. So it's kind of like, both ends of the spectrum, heaven and earth in a way.
Yes, I love it. Beautiful. So what would you say right now is like your favorite book, or a book that you just read that you were super, super into?
Book that I just read. My favorite book in the world is a book that Spirit wrote through me, which is the first book that I ever wrote, which is called Radiant Radical Self-Love. And I still dive back into it periodically. I don't really reread it like cover to cover, but I use it as an intuitive, like, spotlight, kind of like, oh, okay, what's my message that I need right now, and open it and just kind of, oh, dang, there it is. In fact, we could even do that today if we want to. But that's really, like, truly, honestly, and I'm not trying to do a shameless plug. If I had a different one, I would say that there's been so many books, personal growth wise and transformation wise, that were influential for me along the path, like The Artist's Way and Creative Visualization. But we're going 20, 30 years, back, because I've been on this path for about 30 years and in service for about 25, I think it's about 25 years. So I really don't read a lot of books written by other people on personal transformation and spirituality anymore. I just kind of tune in for the direct downloads, and I do a lot of writing, more writing than reading. So my reading time nowadays tends to just be more like fiction, fun, fantasy, just like Diana Gabaldon and Game of Thrones and just like wacky stuff like that. I love dragons, so time travel, romance, men in kilts, that works for me too.
I love
so
it.
there's some ideas of some things that I read.
Yeah, so good. Okay, and the last question is, what is going on in your world right now that you are super lit up about?
I love that question, and I love that you asked that question. And in fact, when I meet new people, I love asking a similar question like that. So, like, what are you doing? Where are you from? Like, la la, snore, work it.
I love you. Oh my gosh, I love you so much.
Right? Like, what are you excited about? What are you passionate about creating next in the world? What lights you up? These are the great questions to be asking. So thank you. I am super lit up. I'm lit up about my life, as you can probably feel it. I love connecting with people like you who also are, and help other people get lit up, right? And shine with their own light. I'm super excited about my Women's Goddess retreat that's coming up in May. And that's at Mount Shasta. It's a divine alignment goddess retreat. I haven't actually led a women's retreat for 7 years. Wow. So I've done some co-ed retreats since then, like we were in Glastonbury a few years ago and so on. But Shasta is amazing. Being with the sisterhood, is amazing. This time of immersion in sacred space. And it's also at a full moon. I did that consciously. Full moon. Hey, magic. and ceremony and deep, deep, deep transformational healing. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm excited about, there's another program that I teach called Archangel Michael's Wisdom School. And yesterday, for example, we just had our 3.5 hour long half day together. We do that once a month. And it just, words cannot say how honored I am and how grateful I am. You know, I might even just cry. I'm a Pisces, I get emotional. But just the shift that people are going through, you know, it's just such an honor. So that absolutely lights me up. And every time I can be in service to another soul, whether it's one person or a group, you know, remotely or in person, whatever it might be, I consider it a sacred trust, you know, and my work is not work to me, it's play and it's love and action. And I feel like when we're really doing what we came to planet Earth to do, often it's not following some kind of like structured step-by-step that they told you in high school, you know? I mean, I'm sure what you're doing now, that wasn't on the list in high school.
No.
This is not, me doing this is not on the list, right? So we're trailblazers, we're visionaries, you know, we're outside of the box. There isn't even a box for us. What box, right? So it's like when we're being all of who we really are, you know, that just, nothing can light us up more than that, you know, being love. I mean, we're all here to be love in some way or other. And, you know, so all that lights me up. My family lights me up. It was just my birthday this week. So that brings an extra boost of light and joy and celebration, you know, and I love my home. We live in this beautiful place with floor to ceiling windows. And we have like trees all around. And so just even sitting right here in the Temple of Light, chatting with you with all these beautiful trees, it's just, that lights me up too, right? So I could go on and on. We could talk for hours about what lights me up. So I'll just stop there. My children, my doggies, I mean, life, you know?
Well, I think it's such a true testament to the work that you and I and so many spiritual entrepreneurs or just conscious human beings are doing, because what I find super interesting is that so many people, a lot of my clients newly coming into me, I'm sure you feel possibly the same, is that, you know, like I start working with people and they have no idea what even makes them happy or brings them joy, let alone like just living and being in the work that you're doing. You're getting emotional about the work that you're doing. And that's like a true testament to like, this is your soul work. This is your soul purpose. And so many people are like, how do I even like begin to get to that space? Right. And so I feel like that's a good place to start. It's like, where do you start?
So true, you know, and that clarity piece is so crucial. One of the sort of themes and foundations and frameworks for everything that I do, Jessica, is what I call the 3 steps of define, align, and shine. And we want to get to the shine part, right? We want to get to like the manifesting part and like where I'm living it, I'm loving it, you know, kind of part, right? But we have to do that inner work. And this is one of the things I love about what you do too. By the way, the reason, I have to just share this, the reason I said yes to this interview, because I get a lot of interview invitations, and I only do about maybe 1 or 2 a month just because I'm so busy doing my other things that I love, you know? So I really choose them in a very conscious, intuitive, aligned way. But your show is called Inside Job, right? Mm-hmm. Inside Job. And when I went through, I'll share a little bit more about my story if you like, but when I went through my huge shift from like hitting the bottom, you know, and just like giving up on life pretty much. And then when I came out of it, the phrase that brought me out of it, because I was so tired and so done with the struggle. My first business was a bankruptcy. We lost our house 12 years ago. We were practically homeless with 2 young children, moving 7 times in 1 year with 2 young children. Can you imagine? No. Total chaos. Total crap for a first chakra, right? Just like really, really bad. Really, really struggle. So the phrase that came to me, because I had a conversation with God at that point, this is in 2008. And I'd been an intuitive and been on a spiritual path. I'd been in service as a healer for quite a number of years already, but not prosperously, right? With health problems, with home, moving around constantly problems, financial struggles. And I know, like, wait, I deserve, easier than this. I deserve flow. I deserve abundance. I'm done with this like suffering and struggling. So I had a conversation with God, and the message was, prosperity consciousness is an inside job. Boom, right? And I was like, yeah, that's right. I'm a at that point already. I wasn't a channel at that point, and worldly renowned for the things I do. But I was an intuitive, and I was a hypnotherapist. I was a Reiki master. I had tools. I had tools in my toolbox. But I obviously hadn't fully, consistently, or properly, or wide enough, deep enough, high enough used the tools, or I needed more tools, or something was missing, right? Because I wasn't aligned with prosperity. So that was like a turning point of like, okay. And what we did actually at that point, my husband and I were living in Hawaii, and we spent a few months creating an abundance audio to reprogram the neural pathways, to reprogram and align the chakras, the energy, the beliefs, open up the self-love, open up the ability to receive, and to align with money as a positive energy. So we created this audio. We spent 90 days or so listening to it. Within 90 days, I had replaced my income from my paycheck job that I had at that point, because I had to go back to get a job because I wasn't living my JOY. Right? Right. So at that point, I had a paycheck job, but it wasn't what I really came here to do. And that when you're doing something that's not completely lighting up your soul, you feel like your soul is dying a little bit inside. It's a pain. It's a soul pain that's real. And so many people, most people, are suffering with that, and that's why it's an honor for people like you and me to help them. So once we got that alignment, that inner alignment, that inside job, quickly I was making $4,000 a month quickly, doing my intuitive work, and shortly thereafter applying other techniques, which I now love to share with people, reached six figures. I've made over $1 million at this point, just doing this. No more paycheck jobs. Thank you. And as a mom too, it's so important. Yeah. It's so important to have time freedom. I really feel like time freedom is just as important. Everyone wants financial freedom, but one of the best purposes of money is to free up your time so that you can be with the people you love, go the places you want to go, do what you love to do. And hopefully you're also making your money by doing something that you love to do too. I love to say, I don't just say TGIF anymore. It's TGIM, TGIT, TGIW, TGITH. Every day is like, thank you for this day. This day is a day of beauty and joy and magic and love, and it's a beautiful day. So I love my work days just as much as my non-work days, and that's a joy to get, to help people to experience that in their own lives. And so that clarity is so important. So there's the define part, which is, what exactly do I want? Who am I really? Who am I here to serve? What does light me up? What am I here to be and do when I grow up? In addition to happy, right? There's a path to happy that's unique for us. And that defining, giving ourselves permission, I find too, for so many women, we've put other people's dreams and desires on the front burner for so long. And there's a time and a place for, of course, for helping others. And I believe I'm now not only caretaking, in a sense, we have teenage boys, so they don't need quite as much maintenance as when they're little. But I also have my 88-year-old mother who's legally blind, who just moved to our area, recently. So I'm in that sandwich generation where I'm still supporting the children and also the elder generation too. So we do need to do that. We need to be there for our loved ones, but not at the expense of our joy, not at the expense of our happiness, And so many women, by the time they're guided to me, their marriage is in a questionable state, or they've been single for a long time and they're not even sure they have any hope anymore for finding the right one, but that piece of their life might not be fabulous. Some of them it is fabulous, but a lot of them not. But they're just trying to figure out, like, I've lost my dream 10, 20, 30 years ago. They don't even know what their dreams and desires are anymore. They're feeling so disconnected from that. So it's a process of giving themselves permission and digging deeper and self-love, and self-discovery. So there's that whole part of the process of really defining, getting that clarity, you know, of the vision. And then the next piece is the aligning piece, because it's one thing to have clarity in your conscious mind, like, oh, okay, you know, I want to be, you know, like one of my clients, I want to be a spiritual health coach. Okay. I want to be an artist that makes pots of dragons, you know. I want to be a medium. A lot of my clients are like healers, you know, creatives in some ways, messengers, you know, this type of thing. And not all of them, but a lot of them are. It's great when you have that clarity. Clarity, though, the defining the clarity is an ongoing process. It's not necessarily just one light, like, oh, the heavens opened up. That's great when that happens, right? And sometimes it does happen through your own intuitive connection or with support. That's wonderful, but it's really a process. You're going to continue to have light bulbs going off and ahas and divine downloads, you know. So being intuitively connected is such a big piece of that define. And the align, I really look at that as, if people talk about mindset, right? I know you work with mindset too. Mindset is important. The subconscious beliefs are very important, not only consciously, like with affirmations and vision boards, and I use all those tools too, but you have to get under the hood, you know, because if consciously you're like, yeah, I want prosperity, I want love, I want health, of course I do, you know, consciously you want that. But if some other belief is running the show under there that's kind of blocking, it's going to create self-sabotage, or you're going to feel like a hamster in a wheel working really, really hard, like so many entrepreneurs do, right? Yeah. They're like, I'm doing the marketing, I'm trying to do this, I'm putting all this stuff out there. Why are the results not coming? It's because of the alignment piece, you know? The alignment piece is huge. So my actual theme word for this year personally is alignment. Last year was expansion, previous year was balance. I'd love to hear what your theme word is for this year if you have one.
Yeah, so this year is love. Oh, no, I'm sorry, it's beauty. Like being able to see beauty in everything. Right. And last year was freedom, and then the year before is love.
Oh, wonderful. Fantastic. It's so great because when you have this as a sort of lens, you interpret everything through that lens. So a lot of what I do is helping people with that alignment piece. And then the third piece, the shine, is taking the action. I believe it's wonderful to do the meditations, the energy work, the prayer, the self-love, really the intuitive, all of that. It's so crucial, and it's like really my superpower. But you have to also walk the talk. You have to also do the strategic, inspired action. It's not very likely that the money fairy is going to just like open your roof one day, and pour in the millions and billions of dollars. It could happen. I mean, sure, it could happen, right? That's fine. But meanwhile, you got to still have an action plan, and you got to have the right mentor, the right community, strategies, accountability, implementation, walk the talk and make it real, So that's the whole journey, that I had to go on personally, and I'm still on, right? I'm still continuing to refine the define and the align and do more with the shine, right? But it certainly feels way better to be living in my dream come true home, married to my divine right mate for 21 years, feeling reasonably healthy and having energy to do what I love and to travel even, and to be consciously active in my kids' lives and be available for them. That feels so much better than moving 7 times in 1 year, not knowing where the next dollar is coming from and struggling. I mean, this is a whole much better, So I love helping people get to their version of, their dream life. It's not too much to ask to have it all. You don't have to feel guilty or like you can't have it all. You can have it all. Beautiful people listening, you can have it all. You can have health, wealth, love, and happiness. You can have it all at the same time. And the more of us beautiful people, heart-centered people, like I can tell you are, the more of us that are living better lives, the more of a difference we can make, and we pay it forward, and we inspire others, and we put our lights all together, and it's like this beautiful expansion and spiral and ripple, and just keeps getting better and better, So it doesn't take away from anyone else your success, it actually raises the whole planet up. That's how I look at it. So.
Oh, I love that so much. And something that we were just saying before we hit the record button was around like, this idea where you could have 21 people, 22 including myself, who all reasonably do similar work in the world, right? We're all trailblazers, we're all light seekers, and we can all work together as a collective because we have this belief system and we've done the inner work. And I love that you've been at this for so long and you're still doing the inner work because it doesn't stop, right? It's like something that's just, it's like you can't just eat healthy for a little while and then expect like, oh, I'm going to be healthy forever. Same thing with really the transformation work, right? And so we can all support each other because we have and we know this belief system that clients are abundant, money is abundant, happiness is abundant. And so I love that you highlighted that because we can have it all. And we all deserve to be loving what we're doing and living in our dream home and all the things. It's so beautiful.
Absolutely. We're living in a very abundant universe, and there's, we're connected to infinite source, all of us. So it's just, as each one of us prospers and succeeds, it's a blessing for everyone. I know that everyone is attracted to the right healer, teacher, mentor at the right time in their lives. And when they listen to their inner yes, I call it the divine nudge, there's like, ooh, that's for me. I like that woman. I like the way, I like her energy. I like this message. This is feeling exciting to me. When they feel that and they act on that, blessings happen, miracles happen, good things happen, and it's so important to trust that. So thank you for co-creating and celebrating and collaborating and abundancing and sharing because it's beautiful. It's wonderful to know another kindred soul like yourself.
Yeah, it's such an honor. I mean, I have to share that I loved how when you shared the story around the message that you got was the inside job. And this whole show and the name and the tagline, all of it was a total intuitive download. And it was interesting because I wanted to do something that was like collaborative. And I remember I went to sleep at night and anytime I feel like I'm forcing something to happen, right? We know we're in our subconscious. We know we're in ego. And so I'm like, okay, I need to step back, detach. And I just set this intention when I went to sleep one night and was like, I'm going to wake up with all the details. And then literally fell asleep in 10 minutes. I woke up out of sleep and had all the things and, journaled it out. And so it was totally divine.
So beautiful. And we can live more and more like that in that divine flow where it's just easy, and we know when we're trying to push the river, as the Native Americans say, we're trying to push the river, we're trying to make it happen. You can't make the river go any faster, For sure. One of my, I hired a business coach. I actually got to 6 figures and success without hiring a high-end business coach. But recently I did invest in that because I thought, okay, I'm ready to get to the next level, and there's always a next level. So we have to honor when we need the support for that. And one of my business coach's sayings that I like is sometimes the best business move is a hot bath.
Yes, I love that.
Oh my God, that's so true. Because, when we're like spinning and we're going, well, I could do this and I should do that. And what if I did this? And, the monkey mind is just going round and round. Then sometimes you just need to freaking stop.
Yeah.
And go outside for 10 minutes. Look at the stars. Hug a tree. Take a bath. Take a little walk. Put some music on and dance. And take it off, It's like shift your energy in these ways and just put the question and that problem on the side and do something that just like liberates you, relaxes you, and you're going to come back. And I love that you set the dream intention too. I do that a lot of setting intention. We're going to have to talk another time too about how I manifested my divine right mate, because I manifested my husband through a dream.
Oh, that just gave me goosebumps. Yeah.
That's a whole other amazing story. I literally did like Celtic dream love magic, and I manifested him, and it's a true story,
That's incredible. Well, again, it's like this testament to like everything can come with ease.
Yes,
from
exactly. When we have the alignment, when we have the clarity, when we have the alignment, it can come with so much greater ease. And then when you take the action steps like you're doing with this program that you're joyfully sharing, and that we're all co-creating, it feels so much easier. It can even feel fun. Really, that's what we're here to tell all of you beautiful people. If you're working so hard and you feel like the answer is not just working harder. The answer is not just nose to the grindstone, you know? And that's what I thought before I had this shift to alignment, you know, 11 years ago. I just thought, if only I worked harder, if only I made the right connections, if only I lived in the right place. I had all these if onlys that I was thinking they all had to do with something out here. But really, it was the inner shift in here. And so now any support that I get from anything out here, it has to be the kind of support that helps me with my inner in here. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? It's like the best teachers, healers, coaches, books, courses, you know, retreats. They're not going to be like, hey, I'm the one that has all the answers. You better listen to me. I'm the guru. I'm the big wig. Do this, do this, do this. The best ones, they help you find your own answers, you know? And I think that's so important to work with people that empower you and help you empower yourself, you know? And it's just, it's essential, and it's such a joy. I'm getting so excited about the retreat when I say that too, because I'm just like,
I know, and we didn't even get a chance to talk about the spiritual side, and there's so many things, but I feel like I could have hours connecting with you. This has been such a beautiful flowing conversation, and I know that there are many people. One, you can go grab Sage's book, but I know that you have a free gift for the people that are listening too, which is the 5 Sacred Secrets to Deeply Connect to Source. So I will link in so people can swipe that, but can you tell us just a little bit about it?
Absolutely. So it's at beaprosperousgoddess.com. That's also my Facebook group, Be a Prosperous Goddess, if you wanted to look for that there too. And if you go to the website, beaprosperousgoddess.com, you'll have an opportunity to opt in there and just enjoying kind of my whole world and universe. You're going to have a complete masterclass. I put a tremendous amount of love and energy into creating that really takes you more in depth than what we could do in this short interview here. And it'll give you a really good taste. It'll give you some inspiration, clarity. You can chat with me in there. And then there's also an opportunity to apply for a no-cost clarity session, divine clarity session with me. I only open those up about maybe 4 times a year. And I typically have way more applications than I have time to talk to people. But I do promise that if you fill out the application for a clarity session, if you're called to explore and you don't even know, maybe, hey, do I want to work with Sage one-on-one? Do I want to find out more about her retreat? What's this Archangel Michael Academy? I want to hear about that. Archangel Michael Wisdom School. Maybe you don't even know which thing it is, but you're just kind of like, hey, I'm curious. I feel an attraction. You know, I feel like a resonance here, and you can share a little bit with me about your situation. And I do promise to get back to you. I will either get back to you by email and recommend some resources for you, or we'll hop on a call and we'll go from there. But the way to get to that opportunity is to go to beaprosperousgoddess.com and enjoy that masterclass. You're going to get benefit from that masterclass alone, even if that's all you do is just watch that. You're going to come away from that uplifted, and we get so many, you know, comments and thank you messages from people that are just like, oh, that was just exactly what I needed, you know. And it's really about the divine feminine, the balance of the male and female energy, and how you can really take that step into being the prosperous goddess that you came here to be in your perfect version, which is not only about money. So, you know, really living a prosperous goddess life, it's also health and creativity and love and happiness, you know. So I'm here to help you with all that. And I'm happy to just share the gift with you, or you can come into the Facebook group or whatever resonates for you guys. So thank you for the opportunity to share that with everybody.
Thank you, Sage. It was such an honor having you on the show. I so appreciate what you're doing in the world, and I appreciate the time that you spent with us today.
Thank you. And I know that you're going to keep on shining, and you are glowing, you know, you are just beautiful inside and out. I can tell that you have a beautiful heart and you have a big mission. And I love that about you. And thank you for co-creating with me today and for the opportunity to connect, and can't wait to see what comes up for you next too. I know you've got all kinds of exciting things that are going to come on your horizon too. So thanks for being you. And thank you everybody for being here with us. Lots of love.